Americans are truly facing an economy that they've never experienced before. Let me explain. If you're a working class American, middle class American, and you feel the pressure right now, this video is for you. The pressure that you're feeling is real. This is not our grandparents' and parents' economy. The era of cheap money is dead. Let me explain. So the pressure that you're feeling is completely real. From 2020 to 2026, you've lost about 30% of your purchasing power of your dollar. Let that sink in. So if you had a $100,000 salary in 2020 without doing anything, you've now lost 30% of that purchasing power. So the number feels the same. It's psychologically deceiving. The number is still $100,000 on your salary, but that number buys 30% less. It's called the silent taxation, which is inflation. I've helped over 15,000 people navigate this through my Capital DR system. I teach people how to navigate through markets and ecosystems based on inflation, based on debt, based on a changing economic system. Now, I want you to think about this for just a moment. America's at over 120% debt to income ratio. There's no real money in the system. You have a stock market that's valued at 69 trillion and GDP's at 36 trillion. So that gap from what we produce to what the stock market is worth is all cheap money. This is the key factor you need to understand. So first is inflation. You now understand that just by sitting there, you're losing purchasing power because of inflation. Number two is that a lot of the companies that you're invested on the stock market are actually built through fake money, through cheap money. Here's where the true dynamic comes in, where we're about to feel a radical transformation because the era of cheap money is dead. So from 2006 to 2008, our parents went through the greatest financial collapse that they experienced, and then the era of cheap money kicked in, and they went all in. Now, money does not receive or does not hit us all the same. At the top, it's very cheap. By the time it gets to you, it's in credit cards, auto loans, and mortgages. But at the top, the wealthy, the 1%, take the printed money, the cheap money, and they go buy assets. So I'm going to give you the framework. So in this new economy, you have to focus on Capital DR. I invented it. You need to create cash flow with every bit of income coming in. Excuse me, not every bit. You need to take a portion and multiply it into cash flow. Why would we want to do that? Because of inflation. And because you're getting poor every single time if you don't have assets. So check this out. So every time you get paid, even if it's $100, what if you took 10%, $10, and you put that into a dividend stock? Now you just gave yourself a pay raise. Is helping you climb out of the inflationary US dollar that is making you poor if you don't beat 3% inflation or get a 3% raise. So every time you get paid, you're now creating a pay raise for yourself. You don't have to wait for your boss or some person to give you a pay raise. You're giving yourself a pay raise by buying companies that pay dividends. So then outside of that, you create a budget. Now you have a little bit of excess capital with a budget. So your income and the dividend stocks that come in, now here's where you really accelerate and pour gas on it. You put it into assets that beat inflation. You have to decide. I love things like XRP, Bitcoin, deflationary assets. You got gold, you got silver. Be very cautious of AI stocks right now. I will be going hard on AI stocks when it comes collapsing down because it's